I came to find our friend, I said. Do you want to get in the transport bubble? Hello and welcome back to the couch. We saved you a seat. My name is Luke, and today we're looking at chapter 3 of Exit Strategy. Yes, this is the 4th book in the Murderbot Diaries series. We're doing a chapter by chapter reaction and review. If you'd like to follow along, there's a link in the description of this video. Just click the link, buy the book, jump back into video. We're doing a chapter by chapter reaction review. We also have done the first 3 books, and we did Project Hail Mary. So it's gonna be cool. If you also want to support the channel in other ways, we have a membership. It's like $2. Help me buy a cup of coffee or whatever. But we're gonna get started. So Pin Lee's in the picture now. Pin Lee. We like Pin Lee. To be frank with you, I think Pin Lee is my favorite human in the show so far. Pin Lee is the most rational, kind of the coolest person. Minsa is awesome, so I'll give Minsa a lot of credit. Maybe Minsa's my favorite pop. I don't know. Minsa's cool too. But Pin Lee is the right person to approach. I think Murderbot's right. Murderbot's right in approaching Pin Lee. It's the kind of thing that Pin Lee is the most on board, the most rational, the least hippie, but still has the kind of like good guy energy, good guy mentality. In this chapter, we also get a lot of Murderbot just kind of doing its thing, making its way into the hotel, watching on the giant screen the different feeds from the cameras and the drones and other things. It kind of reminds me, like I said, this is a very Fifth Element. It just feels like the Fifth Element. It feels like it's a multipass. It just feels like that. But Murderbot going in there and taking over the feeds and doing all the things, and the speculation as to did GrayCris get them there so it could spawn the trap on Murderbot, or does it know? Are they just trying to get the preservation team? There's a lot happening here. It's cool to see the preservation team looking over their shoulder, you know, trying to chill. But the reunion is long waited. It's something I've been looking forward to. I like the character from the first book the most outside of Murderbot, except for Art. Art is the man. Big fan of Art, or the woman, or the whatever. Art's the ship. Art's the AI. Art's the shit. Art is the shit. So yeah, we like Art. But on top of all that, it's been really cool. I like this Pin Lee sort of interaction. It's goofy. I like that Murderbot feels natural with Pin Lee. It's almost human. In fact, I think Martha Wells does a great job in every interaction prior to this one dealing with subtext. So subtext, for those, it's the read between the lines moments. It's what is our intention with what we're doing and what we're saying? What are we looking for to do? What is our environmental condition? What is causing this to happen? Right? What is causing this action? What is causing this reaction? Right? Subtext is super important. And I think Martha Wells is super good at judging subtext. Because when the conversation happens with Pin Lee, there is a lot of being forward. And then there's a lot of I still can't be totally honest with Pin Lee about where I've been. Which is cool. Which is interesting. It's very TV-esque for Murderbot to say, I'm here to help a mutual friend. It's cool. But it's also bullshit. It's bullshit. And I'm curious to see if Gruthrin picks up on the bullshit. I hope so. It would be really cool. I think my favorite part of the chapter really is that approach. It's really the approach to Pin Lee. Not to Rati, not to Gruthrin, whatever. Seeing them again is cool, but if we take the cue from the 3rd book, and that where Girth and Wilkin were definitely working for the bad guys and not just random security consultants that were hired by the company that the 3rd book was about. If we take that into consideration, I think it's a definite sign that GrayCris is looking for Murderbot, SecUnit, whatever you want to call it. I think it's interesting. I'd be interested to see what happens in the future. To be frank with you, there's still a lot of table setting here until we run into Pin Lee. It's a lot of, this is what the world looks like. Here is how Murderbot's interacting in this world. Murderbot is a phenomenal detective, phenomenal detail-oriented thing. But I do love the moment Murderbot meets Pin Lee, and Pin Lee's like, Are you who? You know, and there's frustration and anger and sadness. It's just, and happiness, joy, glee. I think Pin Lee really loves Murderbot in a certain way, right? I think the team from Preservation, they love Murderbot genuinely for what it did for them, what it intends to do for them. But Murderbot still feels insecure about sharing where it's been. Was it just wandering around watching TV? I love when Pin Lee asks. That's pretty funny. It's a funny moment. Some of the things I didn't like about the chapter, I'll tell you. The table setting is getting a little long-winded. Still, let's get along with the plot. We've spent 70 pages getting to this point. Let's go. Let's go. I guess I'm being spoiled. These are novellas. They're short stories. They're not long, right? You know, a teenager could read this. It's not like it's a super difficult read. I say a teenager, a child. And like this one, for example, is only about 170 pages, was like 15 pages more than the other ones. It's a little bit longer, but it's not that much longer. Listen, it's a good book, but there's a lot of just like, okay, maybe that's me being capable of like visualizing what's happening. You get a lot in this chapter of Murderbot doing Murderbot things, which is being skeptical, camera work, looking over the shoulder, being self-referential, re-explaining itself to the audience, to us, about why it is what it is, being paranoid. Great. I'm glad we have that. It's okay. Let's get to the plot. I want to know what's going to happen. I want to know what's happening there. Why is this station? What makes it so fantastic with the billboards and the ads and the different security teams, and you know, because the other places we've been to the terraforming platform, we've been to the other transit rings, we've been to Port Free Commerce, we've been to a few other places, but they're not this. This is different. This is like Amazon. This is like the Yahoo homepage, right? And I want to know why this is this kind of like black market back alley place. You know, I wasn't alive in the 80s or the 70s, but that place in New York City where all the crossroads meet, you know, where Broadway meets like 43rd or 34th Street and all that kind of stuff, you know, Times Square. I imagine this is what Times Square looked like in the 70s and 80s. It's just new things overtaking old things where people are different and, you know, grossness is happening. I don't know. But I'll tell you, it's a good chapter. I sprinted through it. What time is it? Yeah, I sprinted through this chapter. It's talent. But let's move forward. It's time to roll. It's time to get into the good stuff, right? We're over halfway through this book, and all that we've done, right, is followed Murderbot from one place to another. And then in the last 5 pages, we met Pin Lee, which is great. I'm for nostalgia, and I like that team. But come on, you know, let's continue. I think that's all I've got for you. To be honest with you, it is hard to put down. This is a good book. I think it's a better book than book 3. Maybe not as good as book 1. Definitely not as good as book 2. But we're still got some time left. I'll give you my final ranking, you know, or whatever at the end. But I think that's all for me. So once again, if you want to support the channel, buy the book, go on to Amazon, use the Amazon link below. If you buy anything else on Amazon, just your normal purchases, it helps me out. I think it'd be great. Also, membership, be great. Join the conversation, comment on the video what's your favorite part of this chapter. And I think we're just going to, memberships also, but I think that's all I've got for you. So until next time, later taters.